Hello guys, and welcome back to a brand new video, and today we're going to be going over Maghnes Akliouche. I think I've pronounced that correctly. I'm not going to go over stats or he had this many games, this many goals. Just going to talk about him from a Liverpool perspective. You know, where he'd fit into the system, how much it's going to cost us. Is this just a little play for Bradley Barcola? And yeah. So, if you do enjoy, drop a like and subscribe, and let's talk Magnus Akliouche. First of all, 40 million, 50 million, probably 50 million, which is probably half of what Barcola would cost. Naturally, off the right, he's left-footed, which works, but he likes to drop in, he likes to be in possession, which I could see working if we almost played a little bit like this in possession. Gives Frimpong this kind of freedom that we spoke about when I had Soboslai over on the right hand side. I also think if we bring him in, it means Soboslai will play in the 8, which is naturally, I think, his best position in the number 8. I think he's got the legs for it. I think he's gives him kind of more opportunities to be sitting deep, spreading the ball. He's got good passing range, stuff like that. Anyway, this isn't about Soboslai. But yeah, almost like him and Wirtz behind the striker, Soboslai and Grav there. This is how you would set up in possession. I think it's a similar situation to Adam Wharton, where let's pretend Curtis Jones is Adam Wharton. Actually, I don't need to. We're on the ball. It's sunshines and rainbows. He's a magical player, feeding Isak, stuff like that. It's just off the ball when we drop back into our shape. He's not like, he's not like a natural presser. He's not really got the legs for it. He's not, I don't know, he's not really suited to the kind of high press, get the ball back instantly in terms of his physical profile. I don't know too much about sort of his attitude and stuff. That's not really something I've looked at, but I think just from a playstyle point of view, off the ball, if it's that, and then where's Curtis Jones, and that almost enables, and then Barcola, and then that almost enables the press a little bit more and allows us to be more direct in possession. But I guess you could argue I think Soboslai is quite direct in terms of his passing range, not necessarily his kind of like Barclay's kind of determination or Engamoa is to just run at the player and create something. Soboslai isn't that, but he's also his part. Like, I'm trying to think of examples, but he's not necessarily direct. Neither is Akliouche. It kind of, I don't know, it opens up more options. I feel like if we got him, it would still kind of be a hole in our attack for that kind of direct star 100 million winger. However, he's definitely not a bad option. It unlocks Frimpong, which a lot of people are hating on Frimpong. His best games have come at right back, I think. He had the Champions League game, I want to say against Atletico, where he was good, and then he had the Community Shield. I think if you have, because when you've got Mo Salah, and he likes to hug the touchline, Mo Salah, we've seen loads of times that ball over from Van Dijk to Salah being wide. Whereas if you have someone who maybe likes to drop in and play more as that inverted winger, if you will, it just gives Frimpong a lot more. I'm going to bring Engamo in, actually. This doesn't matter. It kind of it gives you two touchline hugging wingers, two creative players playing in the half space on the left and the right. um, two midfielders, one who will turn and take the ball himself, and one who'll get it and play a beautiful crossfield pass. You've got Xhaka and Van Dijk, and then you've got Kerkez making these underlapping runs. It just works, I think. I would bring him in. However, a lot of people are saying, oh, it's like Isak Ekitike. We're either saying, we're going to take your top target, or we're going to take your winger. Uh, I don't think it's going to be the same as Isak Ekitike. I don't think Barkle is going to. I don't think we're going to sign Akliouche and then Barkle is going to go on strike to come to Liverpool. And I definitely don't think we'll get both of them. However, it's kind of put PSG in. It's given them a little bit of a choice, and I think it makes sense for all parties involved for Akliouche to go to PSG and Barkle to come to Liverpool, because Barkle's a better player for us. And he won't. He would rather be. Yeah, I would assume he'd rather be getting minutes here than coming off the bench at PSG. PSG make more money. Like if they sell him for 100 and buy him for 50, that's a net profit. Obviously, the only downside for Liverpool is that Barkley costs more. But I feel like with our lack of activity so far, we must have that money to spend. But in possession, yeah, it would look something like this with Akliouche. The reservations off the ball, I feel like, are outweighed by the pros on the ball. I just don't. I love him as a player. It's just what Areola wants to do. I mean, if he wants to do this with Frimpong coming up and Akliouche tucking inside, then I think that would work pretty frickin' well, if I do say so myself. However, I'm not a Premier League manager and he is. So, yeah, I think he could almost be a similar profile to Elliot, just a better version. But then if I do a little depth thing here, if you've got players who can play that kind of inverted right winger role, occupying the half space, you've got all of these three. And then natural right wingers, you've got Chiesa, and that's it. And I imagine he'll leave. So all the evidence is pointing to, like, I think Marcus Tavernier. His name's Marcus. James Tavernier's Rangers. Yeah, Marcus is similar to him, dropping in, and then not to say his name out loud, but Alex Jimenez doing that Jeremy Frimpong, bombing up, getting involved. So yeah, I think all the evidence is pointing to us wanting to do something like this. However, we might not sign him, we might sign Barkla, and then the whole plan changes again. Or maybe it doesn't, and maybe he's just trusting Szoboszlai off the right and Jones or McAllister in there. However, I feel like that as an 11 is better. And then if you have this as your 11 and you bring in Barkala as well, this is ideal scenario. That's a very good team. And then if you bring in maybe another midfielder for depth, definitely two defenders. It's looking like Maxime Lacroix, or I don't think his name's Maxime. What is his name? I don't know. Lacroix. It's looking like he's off to Chelsea. And we're nowhere to be seen. But yeah, so that's not looking likely. I still think bringing in Livramento was good, although I don't really know if he suits that Frimpong role. He definitely could suit that Kerkez role. And also just for versatility, it's a good sign. I like it a lot. But yeah, what am I saying? I think that's all I do have to say on Maghnes Akliouche. He doesn't, on the counter attack, maybe isn't necessarily his thing. He likes to not slow the play down, but similar to Ewan Jones gets the ball and he just does a little flip or a little bit of deception to take it, and that doesn't necessarily make him bad on the counter. It just means he's not going to pick up the ball, turn, and run as fast as he can towards the goal. No, he's going to touch it down, take his time, and work his magic. But I feel like Barkley's a safer option. But yeah, that's all I have to say about Magnus Akliouche. If you did enjoy, drop a like and subscribe. Um, yeah, the uploads are going to be more consistent now. And yeah, I'm excited. And in all honesty, my opinion, I hope we sign him. I really do. But I wouldn't want signing him to mean we can't sign a lot of our other needs. It's a difficult one. But yeah, that's been it from me, guys. See you in the next one.